Hey guys! Surprise! I'm gonna change my chair.
You don't like it?
No, I don't. We're not used to sitting on chairs. Okay, I got it.
Much better.
All right, that's one way to intro people.
Yes. Good to see you guys. We're excited to talk about one of our favorite subjects, hormones, for just a little bit. You know, this is something that we're actually getting ready for our big hormone summit, right?
Yes.
Coming up.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I mean, this is a subject that's absolutely, a huge topic. You know, it's been a big topic though for years now. The only problem is that the only way it's been approached is in a way that was actually more harmful than good. There's studies, for example, The Lancet did a study on over 108,000 individuals, and what they found out is that women between the ages of 50 to 69 that were given hormone replacement therapy, it actually increased their risk of breast cancer significantly. So that being said, we know that hormones are not only vitally important, but they can create a lot of, again, when they're out of balance, it can create a lot of havoc in the body. And really what we've seen the most is you just don't feel like you, right? And so we really want to make sure that we are able to, again, kind of address these issues and get down to the root cause.
Guys, I'm not on my phone. I'm just pulling it up. I hate when I have to do this. So I'm pulling up my phone right here because we want to answer any questions you guys have. So sometimes it's hard to see it right there. But we're pulling up our Facebook page. So if you guys have any questions, it can be hormone related, thyroid related, estrogen related. It can be if you want to know how to fight.
Just don't ask me about politics.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Ask me.
It'd be really bad.
Exactly.
If you have any questions, we're going to be looking at our phones, or I am, to answer any questions that you guys have. So that's what I was doing. But yeah, we wanted to do this. You're completely right. The reason why we wanted to do the hormone reset, that summit, that's on October 7th. We're doing it October 7th here in Chattanooga. I know we have a lot of followers all over the U.S. And even some outside of the U.S. But we wanted to do it because here in our office, we've been getting a lot of questions. People are coming in. And honestly, we decided to do it because I got angry.
Yeah.
Because I had seen so many women coming in looking for help with their hormones, and it was kind of like the same story, like the same issues over and over again. And I was like, listen, I told the team, I told Dr. Nathan, I was like, it's time for us to do a talk, because my goal is that, listen, you come to this talk on October 7th, I want you to leave with all the information you need to get well. I want you to leave with the information that's going to keep you out of your doctor's office. I want you to leave with the information that's going to make you feel like you can transform your health, because women are powerful. And when they don't feel well, when they feel off, it gets written off as PMS, or that's just motherhood, or that's just menopause, and that's just complete bull crap. So we want to encourage and empower each and every woman that is watching this and listening to this, that listen, your body is amazing, and if there's any symptoms going on, or if you feel off, then trust your gut instinct and know that even if your doctor tells you that your labs are wrong, there's a possibility that they're wrong.
Yeah.
And listen, I think that there's like 10% of doctors that are really trying. 10%. I'm a little cynical there, because lately, okay, maybe it's not 10%. Okay, I'm sorry for saying that. I'm just a little cynical lately.
Maybe 12%.
Maybe 12%. This is not good. But anyways, I'm just a little more cynical now, because, I just keep hearing these stories over and over again. And there was a time when you used to go to your doctor, and the practice of medicine involved touch and hearing. Mm-hmm. So you were touched, you were examined, and then you were listened to. And what I find is that women come in and they're sharing how they're feeling, and it's like they're not being listened to. So I am cynical, I say 10%, but I do believe there's a group of doctors that are out there that are trying to do well, but it's hard in the current medical model that we have. And I think there's a big group of doctors that just don't care because there's ego. So we want to encourage you guys.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, what, you know, the other thing is too, we have this whole mindset made up in our society that, you know, perimenopause is supposed to look a certain way. It looks like your whole life, you know, is out of balance,
anxiety,
hot flashes,
yes.
all of these different things. Anxiety, depression, all of these different things. And guys, I want you to realize right now, there are cultures still around the world today that when their women go through something like menopause, that they go through it with no symptoms, with no symptoms, right? They just go from being able to bear a child to no longer being able to bear a child, going from having a cycle to no longer having a cycle. And so again, I want to encourage you guys that just because we see this as the norm in our society does not mean at all that is really how it's supposed to be. And that's like, to me, that's encouraging, because it's the same way I look at, you know, anything else. When I have a patient that brings me blood work and they're like, my doctor said that this was, you know, that this is, you know, this is in a normal range. And I'm like, normal? Do you want to be normal? Because normal right now in our society is sick and suffering. I want to be optimal. So there's a different way to look at things. And that's what we want when it comes to your hormones.
So Kaylee said, went in yesterday. I wanted to tell her doctor about what I had going on. She immediately stuck me in an EKG and she left with a medication.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget, and this was about my dad. I'll never forget, I accompanied him, and my dad's from the Dominican Republic. He speaks great English. He just, you know, he has an accent. And I went with him to a doctor's appointment, and I remember, and I was young. I think I was like in my first year of college. And I went to kind of go help him, and I remember he started telling his doctor about something he was feeling. I don't remember now. I don't know. He was feeling something. And I watched the doctor start writing on his prescription pad. And he told him what he felt. And his doctor's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can take this for that. And he already almost finished the prescription. And my dad said, yeah, but then I also felt this. And he looked at him like, oh, maybe it's not that. And I remember thinking, like as a freshman in college, like, dude, you didn't even let him finish talking. You didn't even hear about everything that was going on. But you were ready. If my dad had stopped that sentence there and didn't think, hey, let me share more, he would have gotten that prescription. And so, you know, our goal is to encourage every single person to realize how amazing their body is and that you can do something about your health.
And then to respect that what we know about hormones, guys. Here's one of my biggest, and you've heard me talk about this on our radio show before, and you know, she's kind of held me back a little bit, but like, I honestly think the practice of endocrinology, I think, shouldn't even be a practice, to be honest with you, because we know so little about hormones in our medical system. Like, they shouldn't even be playing around with hormones, pretending like really that we know anything. Why? Because if you're looking at the literature right now, guys, I don't know if you know this, but there is literally hundreds of different hormones that they've seen inside the body that they haven't even named or identified their function yet, right? But we know a few, and so we think that we can just manipulate some of these hormones with something like HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and expect everything to go just fine. And you know, you were talking about your dad. You know, same experience with my mom. I remember going into the doctor with her, and I'll never forget, she sat in front of this doctor who is supposed to be a natural medical doctor, and when my mom told him some of the things that she had done, he basically rolled his eyes, and he got down. I'll never forget this. He got down on his hands and on his legs, and he made this like athletic stance, like he was about to run a race. He's like, listen, when you're not taking thyroid medication, this is like what it's like. You're in the starting position and the gun goes off and you don't go. But if you take Synthroid, the gun's gonna go off and you're gonna go. You need to stop doing all this other stuff and you need to take Synthroid. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, number one, you look like a complete idiot, like standing like that. Like, you have no merit in even doing that. And then number two, like, your logic is so wrong because you're trying to cover up a symptom rather than getting down to root cause. When we have hormone imbalance, there is root cause. There's always root cause. Now, That doesn't mean that there's no benefit, right, to trying to figure out, hey, how can we help somebody's symptoms in the moment, like hot flashes, like not sleeping well, like anxiety,
fatigue,
while you're doing what? Getting
healing
to root
body.
cause, right? And healing the body. That's exactly right.
So let's talk about some ways that hormones can affect some of the symptoms you're having. It's really cool. So Dr. Nathan, on his free time, will always listen to podcasts, will read books, will read magazines and articles.
I love when you're not talking to me.
When I'm not talking, he'll do it. Sometimes I gotta talk to you. That's how I process things. I get hyped up. Sometimes we gotta get hyped up for the office, like get what they say, like in state. And I'm like, dude, why won't you like dance with me or talk to me? But anyways, but 98% of the time, he's like reading or listening to something that is just about health, and that's really cool. I admire that. But because sometimes I just want to listen to rap. But we have been processing something and listening to a doctor speak on the gallbladder. And we both looked at each other like, whoa, we had someone in our office that was having gallbladder attacks. And your mom says, oh, I remember that. He was crazy.
He was crazy. He was absolutely
story.
crazy.
But anyways, gallbladder attacks. Guys, did you know that your estrogen and your progesterone, and I told Dr. Nathan, you got to make a video on this because he knows so much on the gallbladder. Your estrogen and progesterone, the balance of your estrogen and progesterone will cause gallbladder attacks or will cause decreased function in your gallbladder. And I found that out myself because I had someone come in, sit down with me here in the office. They've been with us for a couple of years, and she started having gallbladder attacks. When I sat down with her, I was like, whoa, how are your hormones? I mean, the gut was a wreck, and that contributes to that. But your estrogen and progesterone contributes to that. And think about how crazy this is. Whenever you have a gallbladder attack, what's the number one recommendation? Cut it out. Who cares? I mean, it's like God made a mistake.
Right?
God made a mistake. You shouldn't use your gallbladder. And how much money off of gallbladder surgeries?
$12 billion a year. $12 billion a year is what is spent on removing the gallbladder. I couldn't even believe it.
I was like, what?
Do you know what it costs to remove a gallbladder? $30,000. Now, again, I understand your insurance, is going to pay the majority of that. But think about that for a second. It takes a surgeon, maybe a 5-minute surgery to do that, and $30,000 to do that. And you wonder why that's the first approach, right? For the gallbladder and having issues like that. And guess what? I always love it. I use this, and sometimes I do it just because it's funny to me. I don't know. And I still feel the pain of the person, but I still say it because I want them to really drive home this idea. They'll tell me, oh, yeah, my gallbladder, it was removed because it wasn't functioning well. And so my comment to that is, okay, so how well is it functioning now? Because it's not going to improve any function by taking it out. And again, the majority, actually what studies show, the majority of gallbladders that are taken out doesn't mean that the problems don't continue to exist. Because the problems really weren't in the gallbladder to begin with, right? What you start to learn is it's a failure in the digestive system, and it could be related to your hormones, including things like thyroid function, right?
I mean, think about this. The gallbladder helps your body rid itself of toxins. The gallbladder helps break down food. Like, the gallbladder isn't going to one day up and quit. I mean, if it's something you didn't need, God wouldn't have given it to you. Yeah. So something to think about is that if it stops functioning, there's a reason why. And the crazy thing is, and this didn't dawn on me until a few years ago. I had thyroid cancer when I was 19 years old. But 3 years before I had thyroid cancer, I had a gallbladder attack that made me think I was 16. It made me think like I was having a heart attack. So I had a gallbladder attack. And I remember I fell to the ground, dirty sidewalk in front of the movie theater with my aunt. And I got rushed to the emergency room. They saw, I remember the doctor saying, there's 1,000 gallstones in there. It's okay. We'll cut it out. Gave me morphine to help with the pain. But the gallbladder does not just give up or cause pain just cause. It's one of those things that it's influenced by its environment. And it got cut out. And now knowing how it's tied in with the thyroid, it's tied in with the estrogen and progesterone. And then 3 years later, my body was trying to tell me something like, hey, there's something wrong. And my doctor was like, it's all fixed now because we got it cut out. And then 3 years later, I got my thyroid cut out. Guys, if we continue like this, we're just going to cut out. That's what's happening with thyroid. When people come to me, and I just recently had a consult with a young mom, and they didn't take the right thyroid labs. And if they would have taken the right thyroid labs, they would have known she was hyper because she had lost 40 pounds in like 30 days or something. But she had a huge nodule in her neck. And that's eventually when her doctor was like, oh, there's a problem. But the doctor pretty much told her, this is what she said. The doctor said, whether it's thyroid cancer or not, the surgeon's just going to need to cut it out. And that's just wild to me that we're cutting out organs and pieces of ourselves that should be there. And a lot of it is tied into our hormones. Our hormones communicate in whispers. Our hormones can be influenced by our environment, by our stress levels, by the things that we eat, by the way that we think, by the way that our nervous system functions. And so we have to take a step back and ask ourselves, why are we here? And if you're not asking yourself why and how did this happen, then you can never get well.
Yep, no doubt. Root cause, right? There's always a root cause behind the problems that we're in. And even, what was it? Was it yesterday, right? That you adjusted the new little baby?
Baby.
Just a new little baby.
Just so you know, side note, I adjusted a new baby, and me and Elijah, look at your face. Me and Elijah and Rosie were like, baby.
And I'm like, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
baby. Anyways, we're just very excited. Man. But there's a new baby in the office.
Yeah. So you adjusted.
But when the kids are here, yeah.
Yeah. So you adjusted this baby, right? Why? Because the baby, the mother had taken the baby to pediatrician, right? Yeah. Pediatrician had, she had expressed concern about congestion. And so pediatrician said, oh, I know what we can do. And literally told him to fill a prescription for Zantac. A proton pump inhibitor. Guys, this is when I did a Facebook Live on not too long ago showing the drastic increase in cardiac failure and cardiac event when taking long-term PPIs. And that was on older adults. I guarantee you there has never been a study on Zantac in a three-week-old. And this was the solution to congestion. This wasn't even we're not talking about even major reflux. We weren't talking about this baby couldn't breathe. We weren't talking about anything actually very serious except for a little bit of congestion that the mother had noted. And they wanted to put it on Zantac. I could not believe it. Creates B12 deficiency, creates magnesium deficiency. Both of those are needed for every single cellular function in your body. And again, for growing a strong brain, growing a strong nervous system. How well do you think that's going to go inside of that child's body? And so again, the doctor didn't even touch the baby.
Skin. Scaly head.
Oh yeah, scaly. Yeah, steroids. I forgot about this. Yeah, let's throw some steroids on top of the baby's head because that's a great idea. Even though we've shown it affects the baby's growth, it's going to shut down the cell-mediated response in the immune system. So you're now already starting to train the hyperactive immune system. So autoimmune later on. There's so many problems with this scenario, but this is reality. This is what people are dealing with on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And this is the system that they get stuck in. And it's called treating symptoms while the underlying root cause continues to burn underneath until one day you get diagnosed with something bigger like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, or maybe you never get diagnosed with it and boom, it's a heart attack that hits. Or boom, all of a sudden you're getting neuropathy in the feet because you've had metabolic issues going on for years. Or maybe it's, again, getting breast cancer because hormone imbalances for years. And so, again, this is why one of the biggest things that you can do is recognize that you're in charge of your health, that you have to search for why you're having the symptoms show up, and that you have to figure out if this is the mess that got me into it, what can I do to reverse engineer that? And again, same thing with your hormones, and that is what we want to do at the summit.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. So if you're in Chattanooga, if you have friends, if you have family, share our event. You can see it on the event section of
October
our page.
7th.
7?
Yeah.
At 7 p.m. It's very easy.
7 7.
10 7 7.
10 7 7.
10 7 7.
Nice.
East Brainerd Church of Christ.
Yeah.
So, because we're live right now, if we have hormone issues,
DoctorsWarren.com.
DoctorsWarren.com, go 2 sections, just the second section down, you can register right there. But I mean, as we wrap up this video, let's talk about. I say what I would do if I had hormone issues, because the summit is focused on women's hormones. But Dr. Nathan, even though he's a man, he's working with a lot of women and he's coaching women. So we're going to talk about what we would do if we had hormone issues, or if you're coaching someone that had hormone issues. So let's start with each hormone. So if I had a thyroid issue, and just so you know, I'm just going to go through this really quickly, but at our summit, if you're in Chattanooga, we are going to talk about real solutions, how to break it down. And if you're not in Chattanooga, we're going to do something special for you guys soon. But okay, so if I had thyroid issues, the first thing I would do is I would go to DoctorsWarren.com. I would go to the thyroid section and I would download Dr. Rebecca Warren.
She's pretty
Optimal,
smart.
I think so. Optimal Labs ebook.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to go back in there. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to put some more information from frequently asked questions. But in that ebook, just because I know doctors, I've dealt with a lot of endocrinologists. In the ebook, if you download it on your phone, you can actually take a screenshot of one page. And the screenshot is very simple. So it looks like you typed it up. So if your doctor doesn't want to deal with Dr. Google, because they hate when you research, you can literally show them a picture and say, hey, can you do these labs? So the first thing I would do is I would get the right labs. The second thing I would do is I would either make a consult with Dr. Rebecca Warren, or if I felt like I had the time, I would go to the website, Stop the Thyroid Madness, and I would try to understand my labs. Because there's power.
Website, too.
Yeah, it's the whole website is patients that have learned how to listen to their bodies and take care of themselves. So Stop the Thyroid Madness. And if you have the time and you really want to get into it and understand, again, that's what I do. I teach people to do that. Or you can just read and read and read. Go on there, understand what's going on with your labs. Because one of the biggest moments is when people feel like crap and they're tired and they know something's off, and then I sit in front of them and I show them how the brain and the thyroid and the gut and the liver work together, and there's this this light in their eyes and they're like, I knew it. I knew something was wrong. So understand your labs. The second thing I would do, no,
You're
first,
on 3.
wait, first was,
Go get the labs.
oh, sorry,
was,
second
You're
thing.
definitely on 3.
Where would I be with that?
I know, right?
Okay, so third thing. So first I would get the hey Kelly.
Good to see you,
Thank
Kelly.
you for tuning in. First thing I would get the ebook, get the labs. Second, understand the labs. Third thing is find out what's causing my thyroid issues. Okay, let's say I have Hashimoto's. Okay, I'm gonna eliminate gluten and dairy. But I'm not gonna lie, there's other things that can contribute to it, like H. pylori and blastocystis hominis. But if you're not eating paleo and supporting your body's healing process, you're not gonna be able to go deeper. So I would start eating paleo. I would eliminate like top allergens, and I would supplement. I would supplement for health.
Awesome.
That's what I would do with thyroid.
So my top 3. First thing I would do is
What are you gonna do for thyroid?
Yeah, I thought you
that
said,
wasn't good enough?
You said you go through yours
Wait,
and I go
but-
through mine. No, I think I have better ones. My first thing that I would do is I would check my cervical curve. I would check my cervical curve.
I would do that too.
Oh, yeah.
I would do that. Would be
Here's-
my top.
It's got to be, because here's the thing. I've had so many just in the past. Again, I guess coming on 5 years that we've been here in this clinic, and one of the things that we've seen over and over and over and over again is seeing women that literally don't make hardly any other changes except for starting to get their cervical curve adjusted and actually create that proper cervical lordosis in the neck, and boom, thyroid function again starts to actually come back into balance. And there's a reason for that, because studies show, and this is what's amazing, this isn't even a chiropractic study, these are medical research that actually shows the more forward the head goes, the more that you're losing that cervical curve, the more HPA axis dysfunction and HPT axis dysfunction. That means the way the hypothalamus communicates with the pituitary and the thyroid. And so the other thing that we always see in common with people with thyroid issues, they usually have degeneration and arthritis between C4, C5, or C5, C6, nerve connections to the thyroid. So that would be the first thing that I would do.
I would do that too.
There you go. Second thing I would do.
Side note.
We have a question
right here.
Oh.
So we want to answer y'all's questions, so I am going to interrupt.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you would know this one.
By the way, I have been consistent post-nasal drip. Any suggestion on what I can do to stop it? My doctor got me completely off all my allergy medications to update you. They don't work.
Thank you for Kelly.
That is true.
Okay, Kelly just said allergy medications don't work.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
Post-nasal drip.
Yeah. So what I would do for post-nasal drip, first thing I would do is I would try to address the environment of the actual nasal cavity and the sinus cavity itself. So I would do a combination of Argentine 23 colloidal silver spray. And so you can get that, again, that's on our store there at doctorswarren.com. But anyway, it is an Argentine 23 nasal spray. That's going to help. So if there's any mold spores or any type of issues there, again, that's going to help to kill that and kind of clear out that area. I would also, on this, each day, I would also do what's called Restore nasal spray. All right.
Ion Biome.
They changed their name. Yeah. So
Ion Biome.
Ion Biome. What a name, right? So anyway, they have a nasal spray as well. Actually, both the nasal sprays are pretty cheap. And I would do two squirts of the Argentine 23 twice a day, and I would also do 2 squirts of Restore nasal spray twice a day. All right. Do them away from each other as well. So that'd be my first thing. Second thing that I would do is I would get some something like, you could do like Immune Balance Sinus by Garden of Life. That would be a great one that you could get probably at your local health food store, or you could get it again on our website. But that would be one that you could, again, take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, take the place of an allergy medication, work even better. And it's got some natural antihistamines in it as well. That would be a really great one that you could do as well. Let's see, we got some more information. What does it say?
Since I had my baby in March, my doctor diagnosed me with a childbirth infection.
Wow. Yeah, so, that being said, man, that's a whole nother ballgame there.
Yeah.
I would probably, just to let you know, if you're really trying to avoid the antibiotics, you could do something like liposomal biocidin, right? Biocidin has a liposomal, it's called biocidin LSF, and it works systemic.
I'm posting it right now for you, Kelly. So if you guys have any other questions, this is a really great time to ask.
Yeah.
We are a wealth of knowledge, and
Sometimes.
our kids are asleep. So, and our nanny Faith, who's amazing, is with them. So, if you have questions, we'll answer them right now. Let me do this.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. So sometimes we're a wealth of knowledge. I guess it depends on the actual
I'm
topic.
smart. Why are you saying
smart.
that?
That's true.
Okay.
So liposomal, so it's LSF, biocidin LSF. I would use that for infection, systemic infection. It also works great, like if you or anybody is dealing with things like Lyme disease. It's great for that because of systemic infection. Now, it's not going to, again, it's not getting rid of Lyme disease. It's not treating Lyme disease. It's not doing anything like that. But what we see is some reduction in symptoms with that. So I would do that, biocidin LSF. Again, we talked about the nasal stuff that you can do. Immune Balance Sinus to really help with the natural antihistamines, as well as it's got mucosal enzymes in it to kind of break up like some of the mucus production that would be there as well. So those are some of the things that I would try first. And then maybe you can even do, if you need to break down infection even more, you could do Interphase Plus as well, which could be good.
Just so you know, Facebook flagged me for sending you that link. I'm gonna try it
really?
again. But go ahead.
For what? Oh, that's
for
interesting.
Ion Biome.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. And then he said, all from negative reactions from childhood vaccines when I was younger. Wow. Yeah, I've seen that happen a few 100 times actually, and since I've been practicing. So, again, most people think that it's just that things like vaccines and medications, that just because your doctor prescribes it, got to be absolutely great. Here's the thing: I'm not going to spend hours talking about vaccines on this video, but I will say this: there is yet to be a safety study done, a true safety study done on vaccines. So, go for it, do your own thing. But just so you know, I love science. I think it's fantastic. And I actually think that it has a place. So when I look at, what's good for my health, I actually look into the science, and there's never been a safety study done. So take it for what it's worth there. But anyway, let's see. I live in Long Island. My postnasal issues have been awful since I moved here. This is where we got infected several years ago. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you may have to kind of start, especially after a new baby, you may have to kind of just start from like the ground up, with rebuilding your body. And you may just need to right now really support your body, with obviously diet's going to be huge, with lots of warm foods, supporting foods like bone broth and things that really kind of build up the body. You might even want to look into reducing some of the main things that create mucus, like dairy is a big one, cow's milk dairy, reducing that as well, right? Can be a big help too. I'm currently on the supplement called, what is it?
We'll have to look at that. Ultra Essentials.
I'll check it out.
I posted a bunch of links there. We love these supplements. And the crazy thing is we have an academy.
Yeah.
We have a membership program with tons of moms for them
kids,
for their health and
kids.
kids.
Sorry guys.
That are closed right now. But yeah, some of these products that we're sharing with you, we shared within our academy in this month's course. So so your first thing was for thyroid health.
Oh yeah.
Your cervical spine.
Yes. Cervical spine, gotta check that. It's the first thing I would do with thyroid.
I would
Second thing is I would look and count how many mercury fillings I had in my mouth. Right? Because
wow, you're taking this deep.
I'm just telling you, these are things that create thyroid, thyroid disorders.
Yeah.
So, I check the mercury fillings in my mouth, find a biological dentist, and again, start the process of getting those removed. And then the third thing I would do is I would, again, consult somebody good, maybe like Dr. Rebecca, about how to take appropriate amount of iodine and selenium, right? Because again, those are going to be two really, really great things to support the thyroid.
Did I say that?
Nope. Three things that she did
okay,
not
so
say.
combine what we both said, because these are both good.
Oh, no.
Oh,
sorry,
no.
guys.
Okay, so that's what we do if we had thyroid issues, and Dr. Nathan just ruined our whole setup here. It's okay. So if I had, let's say I had cycle issues, and man, these last couple of months, I have been working with women of all ages that have cycles, and they have cycle issues, and nope, it's a little crooked. But that's fine. That's fine. It's good. So I've worked with a lot of women that have had cycle issues. And so what would I do? Let's talk about some cycle issues that you can have. If you're having heavy, painful, long periods, if from the day one of one cycle to the next day of your cycle, it's long, then I would address estrogen. I would take DIM. I'd be eating lots of cruciferous vegetables, slightly cooked, either like steamed for 2 minutes or sauteed. Brussels sprouts, kale, spinach, bok choy, cauliflower. I would eat a lot of things that are going to have DIM and stabilized sulforaphane. And just so you guys know, I'm taking DIM and stabilized sulforaphane. We do it in broccoli. I think that might be the only supplement on the market right now that has stabilized sulforaphane. The reason why I would take those is because it would help me my own body's detox process to get out estrogen. So I would do that. I would also do seed cycling.
Ooh, there you go.
I love seed cycling, and I've had a couple of women in my office that have done it, and have done it successfully. And so if you want to know how to seed cycle, I did a Facebook Live. I premiered a video about a couple of weeks ago. So if you go to our videos in the menu, learn how to use seeds to help balance out your hormones. And the next thing I would do is do a true cellular detox. I would detox. And I would get my spine checked.
Oh, there you go.
I beat you.
So this is estrogen, dealing with estrogen?
Yeah, estrogen dominant.
So first thing I would do is I would get all the plastic out of my lifestyle.
I would do that
as
too.
much as I could. I get all the plastic out of my lifestyle because that's what's driving the issue. That's one of the biggest reasons for estrogen dominance on our planet. So I would get rid of all the plastic I possibly could. Let's see. Second thing, man, you took some good ones there, because I would definitely, maybe broccoli or something like that. Damn, that would be really, really good. You could do infrared sauna. That's a great thing. So infrared sauna is a good detoxifier.
If you're in Chattanooga,
Sisu sauna,
we go to Sisu. First of all, their place is dreamy and it's awesome, and they have a really great facility there. But you're on your own and you get to use their infrared sauna. Yeah, so good.
It's good. It's really, really good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Let's see. Anything else that I
Wait,
would
but
do?
why infrared sauna?
Yeah, well, infrared sauna is gonna be deep detox. It's great for really breaking down toxins at a cellular level, allowing you to eliminate them appropriately. It does some things for your immune system as well too. So big fan. I don't think I have a third thing. I don't know. You took the good ones.
Yes,
there, so.
Good. I beat you.
Let's see. I have
a 1.5-year-old, and he cooks. Kelly, it sounds like you would be really good for our academy.
Yeah, you should. Hey, if you message, because you've asked some really good questions. Message.
Some cookbooks.
Yeah, if you're into it, message us maybe here and then
on Facebook.
Or on Facebook. Yeah, and then Mary Beth can let you in, even though
into our academy.
Closed,
yes.
Right now, so that would be.
But
really
any cookbooks for I like Paleo Num Num.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one. And she's making like products now that I have loved. But I think Paleo Num Num would be fun. And then. What's her name? I think her name is Danielle Walker, and it's called Against All Grain.
Yeah, she's got
Against All Grain was maybe her first cookbook or her website. Either way, I love it because the cookbooks that I've gotten from her and her website has specific like snacks that are really great with kids.
Yeah.
And they'll love it to make it with you.
Yeah, I think that's really good. You'd asked about like
oh, cool.
You asked about the turmeric, right, for cholesterol. And I would say, that's a great one, but I would get in the form of curcumin if you're going to do it, because you're on the right track. Inflammation is going to drive higher cholesterol, so reducing inflammation will help with cholesterol overall. So things like I would do like CoQ10, like ubiquinone. I would do things like curcumin is a great way to do so
omegas.
Yeah, you could do like a really good krill or algae oil, algal oil. That's a great one that you can do as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. So we talked about thyroid. We talked about estrogen dominance. We talked about a lot of things. Yeah. I didn't know we were going to go in a rant.
That's okay. That's great.
But guys, if you're in Chattanooga, join us at the Hormone Reset Summit. East Brandon Church of Christ, October 7th at 7 p.m.
Yes.
We're going to give you guys this information. And and we have raffles. Dang it. I should have said that at the beginning. We have
good
raffles. Vibrant Meals.
Sisu sauna.
Sauna.
Let's see. Who else?
I had a brain fart.
North Spring. Who else?
I had a brain fart. I don't remember the other ones.
We got some more. Really we got more of them as well.
And listen,
Bees on a Bicycle.
Bees on a Bicycle. I love
so we got all kinds of
downtown Chattanooga.
Yeah.
But guys, if you have any questions, you can still leave a comment. We'll come back and answer that. And make sure to register for our Hormone Reset Summit.
I think we already have.
7th.
We have over 50, 60 people? What is it? 60 people?
Something. Yeah. We should remember the number, but we don't.
Something like that. So we got to cut it off. Again, once we hit 100, it is done. So once you guys, when you register, if you have a friend that you want to bring with you, a family member you want to bring with you, register it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see you guys there. Awesome. We'll see ya.